All right, everybody, welcome back to Off the Beaten Quests Campaign 1. We know there's a lot of D&D podcasts out there, but you chose this one to listen to, so we thank you very much. We are back with session 62. This is going to be part 1, entitled Nightmares. Last we left our adventuring party, we had broken through a basement stairway wall and approached a door to the basement of Kazuo's shop, and the above of the house is on fire. This is a kind of a reminder for everybody, and this is where we begin. So the group descends into the basement of Kazuo's shop/home. There is a single worn wooden door that stands in front of all of you. The staircase is a little bit narrow, so you guys are kind of having to stand single file. Jack slowly opens the door, and it creaks as it reveals inside just a pitch black expanse that you see. You can't really see at all in there. Even those folks in this party that have dark vision cannot see anything at all. One by one, Jax, and then subsequently each of you proceeding after, walk into this darkness, and everything goes quiet. You all seem to lose all sense of your surroundings, everything around you. Ira.
Yes. Spooky.
You open your eyes as you are finally able to see for the first time, and you see the hallways of your family's castle. It's nighttime. It's dark. You see a lot of familiar decor and ornate kind of design of the hallways and the vaulted ceilings. What do you do?
How tall am I? Am I little? Or am I normal size?
You're normal size.
Okay, so I am. So
Why would you be little?
Like she's like a child.
Like a kid.
Oh. She's
Yeah.
like, did I shrink in
Am I
this?
little?
I literally thought you just like went down to mouse size.
I'm like, am I little? Hold on. I need to see something. Okay.
What did you roll for?
I was to see if she to make the decision of like if she would know like what lucid dreaming is or would have any like this is not real or
Okay.
this is real. And it was not good. So she just what part of the castle is she in? She like near like the offices? She near
It seems to be just like a tangential hallway, not necessarily near any like landmarks that you recall at this time.
She goes to walk toward her, like, I guess her safe space would be like her father's office.
Okay.
So she goes, just go there.
So you proceed down this hallway as you walk forward. The hallway's length does not change. It seems to keep going and going. No turns, no doorways to different rooms appearing on the sides.
Is there any art on the walls?
Yeah, you're seeing the normal art that is kind of usually hung in your family's.
Any family designations in those pieces of art?
Nothing abnormal, nothing out of the ordinary. You hear in the distance the sounds of yelling in a familiar voices to that of your parents, kind of echoing out through these halls. And you hear subsequently kind of in like this echoed, kind of echoing through the halls.
Gross.
Mm-mm.
She does pull out her bow and knock an arrow.
Okay.
And then just like starts to continue to run. Surely
You start to run down this hallway towards these noises.
Please tell me I hit the wall.
The hallway keeps going. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. Does not meet the number, unfortunately.
It would not. Less than perfect.
You needed a 15 or higher to do it.
Of course you did.
So you begin to have these sharp pains in your temple. The headaches seem familiar, given to an experience you've had a few weeks ago. And the laughter just keeps ringing out as your head begins to start pounding. Here.
I stop, but then I also reach back, and I sort of like pull because my hood on my cloak is massive. I pull my hood around to make sure that like Ollier is not in this space with me.
He's not.
Okay. One crisis averted. Okay.
One down, several to go.
You hear the yelling turn to screaming.
I can keep running, but it's the hallway's just gonna keep going. Like,
These are the screams of your parents.
the hallway is going. I am running. If there's a
And you get to a point where there is a kind of like a corner in this hallway, but you stop for a moment as you hear footsteps coming closer to you. A man walks around the corner. He's in a dark green cloak, has a symbol on the cape of the cloak that is in light green writing, and he has a set of bloody daggers in his hand. Dawn.
What? I'm always surprised when I get stuff.
You find yourself walking through what seems to be a long hallway made of trees. The canopy bent and twisting to form a tunnel of sorts. There's no signs of any animals or sky through these leaves. You're completely isolated. And the tunnel looks to stretch on for miles in both directions. What do you do?
Do I have my net with me?
No.
Dang it. I just wanted to make sure it was okay, but honestly, I didn't need it. I guess I start walking? I don't think it really registers to Dawn that she's not where she's supposed to be.
Make a history check for me, please.
Do.
Don't say it.
The natural one?
Yep.
There's the first omen for the night, guys. You don't necessarily recognize anything around you.
I figured.
And as you keep walking forward, you see off in the distance, kind of there's like a light at the end of this tunnel. It has a lot of colorful illuminations coming from this light.
Wonder what they could be.
There are screams of people. People that sound familiar. They are echoing through the tunnel.
I hate this shit.
How do you respond?
I think I start running towards them.
Okay, you charge forward. As you reach the light at the end of this tunnel, it does seem to be able to get closer, so it's not like an infinite kind of...
That's good, I guess.
You find yourself in your village. The heart blossom tree fully ablaze. As you hear a grunting and screams of anger, you turn and see yourself attacking the other furbolgs.
Fuck!
Blood going everywhere, and in a snap, like a quick turn of a head,
Ew!
the Dawn attacking your people turns and looks at you and begins to charge at you.
Wait.
Bah.
Verity.
Wait, what?
Man, I can't wait for mine. Jeez.
I literally came into the session and I was like, this is gonna be a breeze. Let's go beat up some old guy.
Quick note, happy Halloween, everyone.
Was it
probably like late winter, early spring when I hear this.
conspiracy
Yeah.
Hey.
theory?
Throwback.
What if it wasn't actually Dawn? What if it was Aurelia shapeshifted as Dawn?
We'll just have to wait and see.
It's a conspiracy theory. Thank you.
Good conspiracy
Verity.
theory. Thank you, because I'm so dumb.
You find yourself walking the streets of a city that you once knew. The streets are cold and wet. There's a dense fog in the air. You pass by street lamps that give a soft glow amidst the fog. I'd like to think you look around confused, wondering where you are.
I do. I also look behind to see if, do I remember there being a door? Like going through a door?
You recall going through a door, but you don't know how you got to where you are now.
Can I look behind me and see if it's still there?
Sure. It is not. And as you turn back to face forward, you find yourself at the foot of a large mansion.
It's the haunted mansion.
You try to turn yourself around again, but you feel that in your body that you're moving not of your own accord.
Sounds about right.
The next thing you know, you are in a child's bedroom, standing over a bloody corpse of a small child with a dagger in your hand.
Well,
That escalated quickly.
You try to step back, but you are unable to move. Smoke and shadows crawl out of the boy's body, eyes, and wounds
smoke?
and begin to surround you as a large figure begins to form from the shadows and tendrils emerging, and the tendrils begin to wrap around you, beginning to kind of envelop and swallow you.
Like hair tendrils?
No, like tentacles, I guess.
Oh, that was worse. That was worse.
Yeah, tentacles.
So when you spared the mom and the child, this was not the first time you've had this sort of situation.
Don't
before.
snuggle with Verity. After dark.
Lukiel,
Hi. Sup? What's mine gonna be? Can't wait.
you find yourself wandering in the streets of Cottageport.
Oh, do I?
People walking around the town. They have a small shadow covering their eyes and most of their face, kind of like faceless beings.
That's great.
Ew.
Yeah.
You continue to walk through these streets. What would you like to do?
I mean, I don't really know. Probably just... See, I don't want to look around more. Because, like...
What will you find?
But then, like, if I go, like, to what I would perceive to be what my house was, like, I don't want to know what the fuck's going on there.
Are you aware of all that?
That's why I rolled earlier for Ira.
Yeah.
She would know.
Yeah, would you, like, be aware that that's... Or would you be confused?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Oh, sorry. That was... it's a 5.
I mean, this seems to be your hometown.
That's great, isn't it?
You are amidst a busy street. There are people kind of passing you by.
Bustling, mayhaps?
Yeah, essentially as if nothing's happening,
Yeah.
at least out of the ordinary.
Besides their faces being...
Gone.
There's kind of like
They're
a shadow
gone.
or like almost like they're holding their, like they had a hood over their face.
Right.
It would cover like most of like
So you, like, just can't see anybody's faces.
Yeah.
Not to say they aren't there.
People don't seem to acknowledge you kind of just like standing or walking through this street. There's a lack of awareness of your presence.
I think I would try and like pull out my lute and start playing it, or at least try to start playing it. Just like see if anybody would notice.
It's
Okay.
only minor chords.
No.
Your lute is not with you.
Fuck did it go?
I don't
It's
have
a
all
family heirloom.
I don't have my net.
So stupid.
Oh, I must have been like younger. Like this must be like a pre.
You're the same size and age that you were when you walked through the doorway.
Okay.
Hallucination.
So. Just trying to figure out where this is supposed to be leading me to.
don't overthink.
How
Just
close
go.
am I to, like, where my house is in Cottageport?
It's well within walking distance. You recognize some of the buildings around you.
Of course it is. I approach that general direction.
Okay. As you walk towards where your home that you remember growing up in,
Mm-hmm.
as you reach the edge of the street,
Dude, this
standing
fucking
just
music,
before
man.
your family home,
Yeah.
you look upon it to see it abandoned and worn down. The roof collapsed in, and there's overgrowth in the yard. And vines
Condemned.
have begun to overtake the house. And you do hear noise inside.
I do hear noise inside. Yes. Quite noisy.
He's scared. He's trying to alleviate the mood with humor.
Yes, quite
He's avoiding it.
Quite noisy. Wow.
He's like, if I just keep talking, then we
Wow,
won't
what a
have to see
noisy
anything
version of my
bad.
house.
Hum
That's
diggity.
weird. Why would it be noisy? But why is it also abandoned? I don't really know.
Do you go in to investigate?
Dude, I mean,
Dude.
part of me's like, no, but like,
What would Luke Heel do?
I would think seeing your house in this state, you would be a little alarmed.
But that's just me. I'm just the DM.
Or at least given how you had left it.
How I left them? Okay.
Like, it definitely looks different than, like, when you left Cottageport.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that it's like a rundown and abandoned, I would, for sure.
Yeah. I suppose I will investigate.
Okay.
Which is different from investigate.
You walk up to the front door, and as you go to open it, it essentially just kind of like crumbles and just falls open.
That's great. That's so good. I love that, man.
Inside,
This is...
you see two figures resembling your mother and father,
Oh, really?
withered and old, crying into their hands.
Oh, no.
As you go to approach them, they turn to reveal sunken faces, decayed eyes, and mouths with bugs crawling out of the eye holes, nose,
Nope.
and mouth.
No.
Just visualize Nightmare Before Christmas.
Or corpse
See,
bride.
I'm trying not to.
Makes it less scary.
Shout out to Noah's parents. His dad's birthday was yesterday, and his mom's birthday is today.
What are your parents' names?
Don't dox him.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I mean, this is hitting a little bit close because I just had like very legitimately emotional conversations recently with both of my parents. So this is pretty IRL, by the way. So this is pretty wild.
100% unintentional. I wrote this like 4 days ago.
Ain't it though? Okay. Okay. What?
Isn't it how art reflects life?
Okay. So, yeah. I feel like I would be picking up on the fact that these are not my this is what I should be perceiving as my parents, but like I know that this is not them like in the present moment.
Okay.
Like how, yeah.
So what do you do?
Just based off of contextual, just like how long it's been since I've been at home. So yeah, I'm just like basically just convincing myself, I'm like, this is not real. Like this is all just trying. This is some sort of...
Would you stay or would you go?
Nobody hum that song or else we'll get copyright claimed. Let's see. I mean, I feel like I'd probably try to trace my way back to where I came from where I stepped in from. So I'd leave the house for first.
You turn to leave the house,
Uh-huh.
and as you do, the door is shut behind you
The one that was crumbling.
and will not open. And you
Great.
turn back to see these figures now encroaching towards you.
It's so good.
Eliana.
You can't just leave me like that. What the fuck? What's that supposed to be? Okay.
Everything is happening simultaneously.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you not watch him? Everybody
Dude,
left.
I have a guy with 2 bloody daggers coming to me.
Eliana, you find yourself in the ruins of your old village.
Great.
The smells of smoke and remnants of magic fill the air. The streets littered with debris and scorched marks, just crying heard in the distance, and close around you. What do you do?
So I don't think we've established where I was when this happened, but I would say I'm probably going toward my family's temple.
Okay. You walk forward and you begin to see body after body scattered in the streets, some laying across various remnants of buildings and carts, and others half singed, and the smell of burnt flesh hits the nostrils. Do you call out to anyone?
If I see anyone that is still like breathing, anything like that, I will try to like assist them in like
Okay.
batch any of their wounds, anything like that.
You don't seem to see anybody savable at this moment. You keep seeing more and more just death all around you. You begin to hear a voice. Unnatural abominations. Unnatural abominations. The voice kind of, I would think, causes you to a little bit to stop in place.
Mhm.
As you see kind of in the distance down the street in front of you is a tall hooded figure with a scythe that steps out of a smoke cloud and is walking towards you. Jax, he finds himself walking through the twilight domain of the Fey realm. Wildlife and the air, the smells of everything kind of floods his senses. He emerges from a tree line and finds himself back in the tribe of druids where he came from. He walks through the camp. There's some changelings working and sitting around a fire. He approaches a familiar tent and opens the flap, revealing the inside of his old living quarters. He sees all of his old belongings and looks at them fondly. As he steps inside and is looking around, after a few moments he hears a voice. Welcome back. And he turns to see his mom standing in the doorway. He looks wide-eyed and says, Mom? And he slowly moves towards her to hug her, but still in disbelief, as her form changes to reveal Yoon standing in the tent's doorway. He responds a little bewildered, and he kind of takes a step backwards and says, how is it that you're here? Where am I? She smiles and begins to walk closer towards him. As she approaches, her eyes begin to glow a bright white, and white energy tendrils begin to extrude from her body as they attach to him. He screams out amidst all of this and trying to break free, but Yoon's hair sets ablaze and her mouth opens, letting out a screech. And in the inside of her mouth is like the fires of Igni Mortem itself.
Ugh.
Dawn.
We're back.
This raging form of yourself begins to charge at you. And is very much like in an angry fury.
Okay.
What do you do?
Can I... Oh, I have a thought to do something, but I don't want to waste it. I guess I just draw my axe, my
Okay.
great axe,
Okay.
in preparation to fight.
Okay.
Does she reach me?
She does.
Dang it!
And I would say go ahead. And this is going to be very minor.
Roll for
everyone.
my own initiative.
Roll for initiative, please.
Um, 24.
24. Okay. The other Dawn got 22.
Haha. Loser.
Okay. So with this Dawn charging at you, you get to kind of react first.
I don't want to fight her. I want to dodge her
Okay.
as best as possible.
Make an acrobatics check.
$17.
Okay. With a 17, and I'm going to roll. Okay, you safely dodge out of the way.
Cool. My stomach is in knots right now.
You're telling me.
And she rolls an 18 to hit. As she takes a swipe kind of to her left as you've dodged out of the way.
That is my armor class.
Takes it.
Dang it. Well, she hit me.
And with her raging, she gets a +2.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, make sure that's my D12. Okay.
Does she have any weapons? Is she...
She's using a great axe, but it is the same great axe to which you wielded before the one you have now.
Mm.
And you take 19 points of slashing damage.
Damn.
Actually, excuse me, rephrase that. Well, no, actually, no, you didn't rage, so you would take the full damage.
Yeah. I didn't rage. Damn. Well, now I gotta fucking rage, I guess.
So are you going to rage?
Yeah, I'm gonna...
So you rage in
yeah,
return?
I clearly, that's what needs to happen.
As you do and you rage,
Oh,
you
no.
feel the tattoo on your arm kind of begin to like heat. There's like the heat of the tattoo as it kind of illuminates. Make sure you roll your wild surges.
Which one's an 8? Oh, here it is. This one, right?
The pyramid ace.
Two
to
pyramids,
ace.
ass to ass.
And you remember you get 2 of them because of your tattoo.
Oh, because I get to choose. That's right. This one, number 2 is you teleport up to 30 feet.
Okay.
5. Whenever a creature hits you on an attack roll before your rage ends, that creature takes 1d6 force damage as magic slashes out in retribution.
So which one do you choose?
I'm actually going to take the teleport.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just going to teleport away from her 30 feet.
Dawn is not choosing violence. This is crazy.
Dawn has grown.
She's growing.
Oh.
Can you read number 4 for me, please?
Number 4?
Yes.
Oh, is that what you got?
Yes.
Magic infuses one weapon of your choice that you are holding. Until your rage ends, the
Ooh.
weapon's damage type changes to force, and it gains the light and thrown properties. Ow.
And does it returns to the person's hand?
With a normal range 20 feet and long range of 60 feet, if the weapon leaves your hand, the weapon reappears in your hand at the end of the current
So,
turn.
so
Long range of-
essentially,
Are you shitting me right now?
You've
you
used that one
You
before.
I
shit
rolled
for shit.
the 4.
You're
a picture.
shitting me. You are shitting me.
So she's
I
Thor
choose to
and
teleport.
you're teleporting. Yeah.
So we're just gonna run around this tree.
So you teleport to a different spot. She throws the
Are
axe.
you shitting me?
She can miss.
Oh, she could miss.
Doesn't guarantee
Thor
a
doesn't
hit.
miss.
It's a natural 1, so it does miss.
Oh, yeah.
So she throws it. It misses, and she like catches it back, and it kind of like comes back to her hand. Hero. You stand before the cloaked figure as it begins to walk towards you, so I would think you would kind of start to take steps backwards as well to kind of not let him get any closer.
Is the vibe familiar? The energy from the person familiar?
It is.
Then no, she ain't taking a step back.
Okay. As he approaches you, he lowers the hood of his cloak to reveal the face of your brother,
Yeah.
Arrow fires.
Percy.
Arrow fires
Okay.
into his shoulder.
He doesn't stop.
Cool. We just keep going.
You have no more arrows.
Takes two to tango.
You don't have any more arrows.
My daggers on my thighs?
You can look for them.
Are my daggers on my thighs?
They are.
Okay.
So you reach for your daggers, and he has this fiendish grin, and there is a glow kind of a bright green in his eyes. And then you hear in an unfamiliar voice, kind of faintly, almost like a whisper, that says, "A new era for Marians." You go to slash at him with your daggers.
Question.
Yes.
Did the arrow miss him, or did it go?
No, it hit in his
through
shoulder,
him?
and
Oh,
it hit his shoulder, and he just didn't stop.
Oh,
He was
okay.
unfazed.
Okay.
You go to slash at him, so go ahead and roll for those 2 attacks.
27 and 18.
Okay. The first one hits, the second one doesn't.
Do I need to roll damage or no?
Interesting.
The damage doesn't matter at this point.
Writes down his AC for 50 sessions later.
You hit him with the first slash, and it kind of tears the cloak a little bit as it kind of cuts into his other shoulder. The second one misses as he grabs you by your shoulders, and you feel like the kind of like the clank. You hear the clank of the steel of his knives kind of hit the pauldrons on your shoulders, and the green, kind of blue, smoky magic begins to kind of envelop you. Kind of goes around. Your head begins to pound harder and harder. His eyes glowing a heavy, deep blue. And you feel a massive heat inside of your body. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Lame. No, not lame. Also a 14.
Okay. You feel the energy flowing from him and kind of from you, and you try to resist, but it begins to overtake you. But in a moment, you feel the warmth of a hand rest upon your shoulder. And as you kind of turn your head slightly to see, you see Nylea standing beside you. Stoic, commanding. I would like for you to mark on your sheet at this moment heroic inspiration.
Yo.
What is that? Is that a D1D6, 1D8? What is that?
Heroic inspiration works differently than a bardic
I believe
inspiration.
it's just a reroll.
It gives you like
Okay.
it gives you any
Advantage.
reroll to use at one point.
Okay. Okay.
You make a move to stab him again. Essentially, you would kind of try to slash at the daggers as you kind of feel yourself being able to break free from this like energy.
Yeah, if his hands are on my shoulders and her arms are down, she's gonna go like across, like aim like across his like gut
Okay.
to like get him to back off completely.
Roll for that attack.
I don't trust any of you pieces of plastic.
Do you have any metal dice in there?
Nope.
I have a metal die.
I don't even have. I have one side of like hard edge
Resin?
dice.
Like, yeah.
Everything else is just plastic. 20.
Okay.
Dirty. 20.
That one hits.
Dirty.
And I will allow the nick property of your
Nick.
I will learn this eventually.
so essentially you can do a second attack without costing you like a bonus action.
But I have to roll for it still.
You do have to roll for it, but
27.
okay. So both of those hit. As you kind of slash at, you said his throat?
I was going more like his
The gut?
midsection.
Okay.
Yeah.
You slash at his gut, and as you do, they both connect, and you hear kind of the ripping of flesh as the world around you kind of just goes poof. There's like this smoke kind of fog kind of flowing around you as you are sitting in this black abyss once more. You feel yourself standing there for a moment, but then all of a sudden have like this weightless feeling as you begin to fall downward. And as you do, you land in the Twilight Domain, the Pharaoh, and you hear Jax screaming.
Oh, we
What?
running.
Whoa.
We running. Here we go.
Layers of hell.
You run and you see. So we'll back it from Jax's perspective.
Mhm.
Yoon / Numok, the form that the hybrid form is beginning to take on Jax's form.
Nope.
And Jax is trying to break free but can't. He begins to kind of succumb to what's happening, saying, I deserve this.
I would like to fire a magic missile from 120 feet away.
Well, you, with already running towards this
Saving my
direction,
boyfriend.
you bust in and you see this kind of happening in front of you. What do you do?
Fire
Do you
magic missile.
You still do the missiles? Okay.
I am sick of her. She needs to go away.
Did I stutter?
I don't care how big the room is. I cast fireball.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Go ahead and roll for the damage. What level are you casting that at?
Well, I have a use of it. That's just like once per long rest
Okay.
Nice.
because
Okay.
of my like magic initiate wizard.
Okay.
Me and
Thanks.
Okay.
Sarah
So
are
that's
in
what I'm using.
sync today.
Okay.
First one is 4, 2, 3, 6.
So 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do fire it at her head.
Okay.
Her
so
head.
These hit her directly as she kind of like vanishes into this like puff of smoke. It's almost as like you're hitting like a smoke cloud. And they still connect. It doesn't cause any like kind of damage around. But then the whole world begins to kind of like bleed and fade away, almost like in the pensive of Harry Potter, where like the memories when it falls in, but it's kind of in reverse. So it's just like
She does like
evaporating
run
away.
to Jax as that's happening to like grab him.
Okay.
Does he need any healing or anything, or is he like? He's
No, he
Okay.
has not taken any damage.
He will.
How did you get here?
I don't know. I just gutted my brother. So
And then it goes back to the same like foggy blackness that you are in. I mean, how did you get to me?
I would assume it's because you're my favorite.
I know, but how did you get here?
I don't know. I gutted my brother, and then the fogginess you just saw happened to me, and then I saw you. being consumed and not even fighting it. What's that about?
Well, if you manage to find me, then we need to find the others.
Okay.
I have an idea. And he essentially kind of grabs you by the shoulders and says, "See you on the other side." And he pushes you away
What?
as you both begin to fall.
What?
But you both fall in two opposite directions.
Bye.
Huh.
And in her head, she's like, fuck it, that's not what I meant.
What if you said it out loud as you're falling? That's not what I meant.
Jax falls through this blackened void and lands in like a dirt grassy area and sees the illumination of a tree on fire.
I knew it was going to be me. I knew it.
In Ira, you fall and see this older looking mansion, and you kind of come to in this bedroom, and you see Verity being consumed by a large shadow entity.
That's a lot.
Meanwhile, Lukiel,
Yes. Hi.
seeing that you can't get out of this house,
Nope.
do you attempt to run further into the house, try to go into a different direction?
Are there windows?
They all seem to be like boarded or collapsed.
Well, the ones that are collapsed, do they?
Like they're collapsed shut, like essentially like almost like a rock, like a cave in.
Well, I feel like I'm just kind of like frozen.
You hear a soft melodic, or a couple of melodic tones
Mm.
kind of coming from further inside of the house
Yeah.
that sound like the playing of a lute.
Okay. So I try to approach the sound.
Okay, so you break away from these two figures encroaching you,
Yeah.
and you kind of stumble through the ruins of this old home, and you come across your old bedroom.
Mm.
And on the ground, kind of leaning against the bed, now decrepit and rotted, is your lute.
Mm. Gotcha.
What do you do?
Feel like I just kind of like drop to my knees. Just like start like hands to face, like what is going on? Like low key, like starting to kind of like cry. Like what the fuck's going on? Like, what is this?
Okay. The corpses of your, or what you had perceived to be your parents, are kind of like, almost like exorcist kind of crawling down the hallway towards your bedroom. Meanwhile,
Thanks.
Grab the loot.
Eliana sees, you see this figure closing in closer and closer. How do you react?
Previously in this setting, she would have called out to Florenia, but given that her worldview has kind of changed on that since she's come to the material plane, she takes a moment to think and then asks, Thanaturum? Is that you?
The figure raises the scythe as these ghostly smoke kind of spirits begin to kind of swirl around like her body, like in a circle. The face looks up, revealing a decrepit old woman with pale grayish skin and piercing green eyes.
Is this the same woman from my nightmare before previously?
Give me a history check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Let's go.
You recognize the resemblance of this figure to be the figure you had saw in your meditative vision before, but also recognize, especially with the natural 20, some of these features to be that of which the Emperor had talked about before.
Cool.
And she keeps repeating the same unnatural abominations over and over again. And with that same natural 20, the voice begins to sound familiar. Meanwhile,
Cool.
I'm doing a very much like Critical Role, like cut away, back and forth, like kind of thing. So
I love
like
it.
it.
I love
shout-outs
it.
to them. So, Dawn,
You got this.
this fight kind of seems to be going kind of back and forth. There's a lot of like swinging of axes. You're teleporting. She's like very much like channeling against you.
From
Do
a
you-
distance, there's no way this doesn't look hilarious.
Essentially, it's a lot of like kind of like teleport, like slashing and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you fight back at all?
My only thing that I try and do is when the axe gets thrown, I'm gonna try and hit the axe and like destroy the axe.
Okay. I will say I'll call that a sleight of hand check to see if you can
Get
kind of maneuver that. I won't make it just like a normal attack roll. It'll be a little different.
Miss.
Is
It is a natural 1 again. What has happened to my dice?
they don't feel
cleansing.
loved.
So
call
you
them
go
all
to do
beautiful.
this and
Oh, that's 3 natural 1s in a row for this particular dice.
wow.
And see, that's why I did the thingy.
You go to hit the axe with yours by kind of throwing your axe, essentially. Do you throw it or try to just swing at it?
I'm just gonna try and swing at it.
Okay, so you swing at it. So you miss. In that moment, you feel this like almost like linebacker tackle shove as you, because your focus was not on the other Dawn, but on the axe that she threw. And using this kind of like bait type tactic essentially came for you while your focus was on the weapon. And she essentially kind of knocks
Oh.
into you and knocks you to the ground. And as she raises her hand up and catches the axe back in her hand and says, "Kill all the monsters. Kill them all." And she goes to swing down, and you see
That's
up
some-
above this axe, you see Jax coming down with his like hand raised.
Like, is he standing or like through
No,
the sky?
he's like jumping through like to kind of coming
That
down
is
with like
so
a strike. And
Falcon punch.
you hear him yell, "She's not a monster!" and hits the other Dawn across the face and kind of dealing some serious damage. She kind of like spits out some blood onto the ground. And you're like looking up now kind of from the ground as you see Jax is kind of fighting this raging form
Oh
of you.
my gosh.
You see this like fierceness in Jax that you kind of had only seen once before. There, it's very much the same, like almost anger that he has or had when he was in the pits fighting the hunters.
Mm.
And you see,
Take it
Give
out.
me-
Let it out, baby.
give me a perception check really quick.
Not with that other dice. You are in the trenches, sir. Okay. You said perception?
Yes.
19. Oh,
You
that's
do
really
see
good.
that he has tears in his eyes. And he, amidst these kind of like throwing blow for blow, and kind of gets to the point where he's kind of like holding this axe with his hands, like kind of like holding it up. He says, "This isn't you, Dawn. Get up and fight."
Wow, what a sweet guy. Wait, oh, he's talking to me?
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Oh, sorry. I'm picturing a lot going on.
As he says this to you, the Raging Dawn kind of lets go of the axe and grabs him by the face amidst these attacks, and it kind of throws him backwards.
Ouch.
Well,
Very
what do
strong
you do?
lady. I go to attack her.
Okay.
How far are they?
About maybe 5-10 feet,
Oh,
not
okay,
that far.
Just go to attack her then.
As you get up and you kind of charge at her with your axe, the tattoo still glowing on your arm, you hear the echo roaring of Haruyama through this area as you slice through the raging form of yourself, cutting that dawn in half.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like one of those like anime moments where you like run at
Slow
them and then you're
motion.
kind of like in your follow-through position on the other side, and then the raging dawn kind of like
Goes in
slides in half.
How did Jax know which one was the real Dawn?
Which one had the tattoo?
Okay.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, there are smart people at this table. I am not always a part of that club, but they are here and I am thankful. They're also the same people that can spell characters' names correctly, and I have to ask a lot of questions.
With you out of breath, I would think that you would walk over to Jax and kind of reach out a hand to help him up.
Yeah.
What do you say in this moment?
What do I say in this moment? Did that feel good?
You tell me.
Yeah.
He gets up and says, and again, the surroundings of you is now starting to kind of slowly like kind of fade away in this like wispy smoke. And he says, we're in some type of like void vision thing. We need to hurry up and find the others as this like kind of the surroundings of you start to kind of go to this black void. Meanwhile, Verity.
Can we go back to Dawn?
Nope.
We were just at Dawn.
Yeah, I did it. I defeated my Jax defeated my demons for me, actually. Thanks, Jax.
Ears in the mood to fuck more shit up. Let's go.
You have this, Verity, you have the heavy, immense feeling of like whispers filling your head as your whole body begins to go limp. The shadow swirling around you saying, we gave you a chance. Now you face the consequences. You try to respond, but a shadowy hand kind of wraps its like fingers kind of around your throat.
Verity has a panic attack.
How far do I see this? How far away am I?
You're
from
like
this?
right there. What do you do?
Oh,
That's what I was about to get
Cool.
to.
I don't like the little girl voice in those whispers. That made me really uncomfortable.
I hear
Is this a fiend or undead? I'm gonna I have a use of Divine Smite.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that at 2nd level because it's what I have available.
Okay.
3d8.
Okay. You don't need to take off the spell slot for that.
Okay.
Given the state of things.
Oh, I have a use of it at 1st level
Okay.
because of just my paladin.
You do this, and what do you say in this moment? Like as you're casting this divine smite.
Actually, before I do that, do I see the shadows?
Oh yeah, it's like it's
Okay.
it's like basically this is shadowy kind of smoke entity kind of essentially kind of lifting Verity up with its hand around her throat.
I'm really sick of people thinking they can just control my friends.
And
I just like take a dagger with the divine smite.
And
just,
the dagger glows like this bright whitish
Radiant.
yellow, and as you cut through this shadow, it releases Verity, and she falls to the floor, kind of catching her breath. And the whispers fade.
You have quite the story to fill me in on later.
When I look up, do I still see the little boy in the bed?
You do.
And does Ira see it?
but the image, everything around you starts to begin to fade to this like smoky kind of atmosphere.
Did Ira see it though before?
Briefly, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I would think so.
As like it does disappear, Verity just repeatedly under her breath just keeps repeating, "I'm so sorry."
Okay.
We don't have time for that right now.
She does not listen to you.
That's fine. She's not given a choice because we're about to bamf out of here. Bamf?
As the like black void kind of appears around you too, as we cut away to Lukiel once more.
Hi.
You kind of turn, looking through your hands in this like paralyzed shock as these corpses begin to close in on you in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Your hands kind of shaking. Your hands themselves begin to look as if they're aging.
Mm.
Cracking of this dryness as you hear a loud couple of thuds, like doof, doof. And you just see through at these corpses, all of a sudden, this large blade of an axe just cuts down and cuts one of them in half. As you see Dawn and Jack standing behind them.
Hell yeah.
I'm just kind of fucking mortified.
Jax walks over to you after basically letting Dawn just kind of cut through the one and then turn and swipe and cut the other. And Jax walks over to you after that and says, "Come on, buddy. Everything's going to be all right. We're here now." And he puts his hand out to kind of help you up.
My hand's still aging?
No.
Good. Because if Lukiel's anything like me, he would have freaked the fuck out the minute he saw that. So.
Do you take his hand?
Yeah, I want to get the fuck out of here.
So he
Fuck this.
helps you up and says, "It was all just a nightmare, man. We're here. Just like we'll always be here. We got you." As the kind of surroundings around you begins to fade to this like smoky kind of breaking away into this black void.
Love that. Yep.
Eliana,
Yes.
the smoke spirits from this figure begin to kind of swirl away from this figure as the scythe is raised, and they begin to spin around you, kind of circle, encompassing you. There's only about like 2 or 3, but they each have their own unique shape. The figure now standing kind of face to face with you, still repeating the same phrase and going off of the same natural 20 you had earlier.
Ooh, that thing is carrying me.
I gotta make it worth it. It's a natural 20. You recognize the green of her eyes
Yeah.
as the scythe begins to come down quickly. What do you do?
I use my last face step to bamf away.
As you do, you see, you kind of like face step, like, and where you appear, you see standing just behind you Verity, Jax, Dawn, Ira, and Lukiel.
I feel like in this moment when she sees her friends, she's had this nightmare before, subtract like the deathly figures before. She's definitely had like a reliving of like finding these people in like her temple and like village in ruins. So like at first she thought this was just like a nightmare, but then once her friends are there, she's like, oh, like this was This is a new thing happening.
The figure, noticing kind of all of them arrive, kind of steps back and shouts, "This isn't over, Eliana. Not if I can help it. Flossidus be damned." And the figure kind of dissipates in this plume of black smoke that kind of forms kind of a skull as it kind of floats upward.
So you guys have met Florenia? Kind of.
She seems delightful.
Oh, I was going to say the exact opposite. Crazy.
Melded into... It seems like they're conjoined at this point, but there's Thanatorum, who she seemed to be collaborating with, and it looks like she's dragged you guys into this as well.
Oh.
Who is Thanatorum? What does she do? What's her...
What's your shtick?
Maybe we should try to get out of here first.
The surrounding
We're ready
area
for a
begins to
history
fade
lesson.
into that same smoky area as the kind of the black void begins to kind of come through, but then all of a sudden it shatters like glass, breaking through the fog, and you all see yourselves standing in the basement of Kazuo's shop. The crackling of the fire kind of heard in the distance above you. But you notice that it's not a wooden floor above this. It's almost like a stone kind of support beamed floor. So essentially kind of almost is like the foundation kind of underneath this, or underneath the house itself. There is, standing across from the six of you, is a ghostly figure in clad armor surrounded by 4 smoky, glowing, ghostly figures. The knight standing over an unconscious body resembling the man that you saw at Hop Owl Hills.
Peculiar.
The knight takes a step forward and says, "The one they call Eliana. Prepare to die at the hands of the Death Knight General of Thanatora's servants."
Ira steps in front of her.
I don't like that the NPCs are referring to me by name. I feel like it's never happened before, and it feels uncomfortable.
And that's where we're going to end for this part of the session, at least. Again, as always, thank you guys so much for listening, coming in to tune into this. Hope it was a spooky little nightmare session for you all to get a little bit of lore and have some fun with. Again, big shout outs to Pocket Bard for making it just that much more scarier, which we can't stress that enough.
Really does. Yeah.
Thank you for the nightmares.
It's the voices for Nina.
But as always, like, subscribe, do all the things to make sure you never miss an episode. We thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next part.
Bye.
Bye.